Hello and welcome to episode 83 of the Stress Knits podcast. I'm Stacy, also known as Stress Knits Yarn on Instagram, Stress Knits on Ravelry, which I'm trying to be more active on. I need to take pictures of projects. That's my goal this year, because I'm ranting already. But I've only finished 2 things this year so far, so I feel like I can still get a handle on my project pages, so I'm going to try to fix that and be more active, but you can find me there. Yeah. This is a knitting and hand dyeing podcast with some real life, some self-improvement, self-love, that kind of stuff thrown in. So this is the 6th or 7th time that I've tried to record this. I tried yesterday. Today is April 19th, by the way. Happy Good Friday. And Passover's tomorrow, right? And then Easter's on Sunday. So if you celebrate any of those things, I hope you're having a wonderful time. And if not, I just hope you're having a wonderful spring and a good weekend. So, yes. So I tried to record yesterday, and it was so hot and humid in my house, and I was cranky, but I was happy cranky and laughing at myself about it, which I'm also kind of there today, but I don't have a headache today, so that's good. But yeah, so my phone, apparently the storage was almost full, and it kept deleting my videos and stopping, and some would only have visual, some would only have audio, and I was just, it was frustrating. And then I thought I wasn't going to record until after Easter, kind of have time with the family, but my daughter had to take a nap, so she's napping right now. I live here in Metro Detroit, Michigan with my husband Doug, my daughter Eliza, and our pug Esther, who, if you hear chewing noises, that is her chewing on a bone. Yeah, so Doug's sister's in town from up north, and we were hanging out over there, but Eliza needed a nap, and so I just took this opportunity after I ate lunch to record, because I'm kind of in that mood today. I have my new shirt that's this oversized, cozy wonderfulness, and I feel great. My hair's a little frizzy because it's humid and rainy again today, but it's a lot better than yesterday. So I have a few things to show you. I'm not going to show you everything I've been working on because I don't know how many times I can show the Ronin sweater, if I'm being perfectly honest. I'll show it to you next time, because hopefully next time I will finish the body. Then all I'll have left is the collar. So hopefully that's coming. But I do want to share a finished object with you, and it's not a finished object that I knit. It is from one of my wonderful sample knitters, Angie. I asked her to knit the Kobuk Hat by Caitlin Hunter in Stress Knits yarn in the Sweet Disposition colorway on my DK base, and my jam on my cloud base, which is my Surrey alpaca mulberry silk base. It's a great alternative to mohair. I think it's super soft. I'm super excited about it. Yeah, and I named it Cloud. Those of you who don't know, because I like to keep my bases pretty self-explanatory. I don't like people to guess too much about what a base is. I keep playing with the pom-pom that she added. But I named it Cloud because I was testing the base on my trip to New York in January, and I was knitting on my hat, and I was trying out the base, and it just reminds me of fluffy clouds. It's just so fuzzy. I have a skein next to me. It's just the fluffiest, dreamiest. I love it. So it just reminded me of the clouds when I was flying. So that's why it's called Cloud. But yes, Kobuk Hat Caitlin Hunter, knit by my wonderful sample knitter Angie. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. It's gorgeous. It's exactly what I wanted. You can see Sweet Disposition kind of popping through, but my jam really, really toned it down, and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So thank you, Angie. You're wonderful. I will share my sample knits as they come in. I have a few more, so stay tuned for that. Next, I have been working mostly on two things. So the first is my Magpie Tendency by Melissa Who Is Skenanigans. Let's see if Eliza's actually waking up or if it's just false. I think it's false. It didn't sound real. Okay, it's gonna be quick anyway. So this is Magpie Tendency by Melissa Who Is Skenanigans. I'm knitting this in Stress Knits yarn in Bell Jar, my favorite sock base, my favorite base, but it's really great for socks. But yeah, so it's kind of blown out. It's very minty, peachy, with hints of green and purple and blue, and I don't know if you can, that's a better representation of it, but it's still a little blown out. It's better. Yeah, so I love this. I have a few more repeats to go. It's very, very quick. I just haven't gotten to sit down and work on it too much. But the construction is genius, and I think everybody should knit it just for the construction experience. It's amazing. I've never seen a sweater made like this. So it's really, really cool. I love a good I-cord edge. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. I have about 10 more repeats to do, and I can do a repeat pretty quickly. Yeah, but it's on a size 10.5 needle, and it hurts a little bit. It's not like pain, it's just uncomfortable. So it's not my favorite thing, because it's knit on a with a super loose gauge. So it's nice and airy, and it's gonna be a great layering piece in the spring and summer. I'm really excited about it, but I love Bell Jar. I think it's knitting up really cool. So that is my Magpie Tendency. I am knitting a size E. Yeah, and I did that to get I think it's gonna end up being about 14 inches of positive ease. She calls for like 6 to 12 inches, I think. I could be wrong. I know 12 inches is like the top end. Wanted a little bit more, so I went up a size, and I'm really excited about it. So there's that. And then what I'm really excited about right now, it's still my Comfort Fade Cardi. So this was my cast on for my March Year of Andrea cast on, and if you're new, hi, how are you doing? Thank you so much for checking me out, and if you're returning, welcome back. Yes, so for the Year of Andrea, from July of last year to July of this year, I'm casting on one Andrea Mowry pattern per month, at least. So this was March. I got it in just under the wire. I think I cast it on like March 30th or like 28th, somewhere in there. Yes, so I'm on the collar, and then I have to do the sleeves, but the collar is the beast of it. It's the big part. So I decided to start there, and I'm fading in the third color right now. So here's the short row section, which happens back here. And it's going pretty quickly. The most laborious part of it is the fading in, the striping that happens, because it's just through the entire shawl collar. But this is, I love it. So as you can see, I started the darker color here. And then the band is already pretty wide at the bottom of it. That's the wrong side. Here's the right side. Okay, so I'm really not good at picking up stitches. I think I need to take a class in it, because I don't understand it. It's always really sloppy for me. I just don't understand how to do it. So if you have any tips, I know when people are just like, pick up every 4 out of 5 or like 3 out of 5, I don't understand. Like, I get what you mean. I get picking up 3 for 4 stitches or whatever. I understand that, but the actual like picking up of stitches, I always think I do it wrong, because it's always sloppy. And it just is holy, if that makes sense. You can tell something's not right. So I need to figure that out. It's really the thing I need to do. But yeah, so the colors I'm using, well, the yarn, so it's my hand-dyed yarn again. because I'm trying to get samples of my yarn and also trying not to feel guilty for knitting with my yarn, which is weird, but from a business standpoint, I just want to be able to sell it. But the thing is the whole reason I started dyeing yarn, besides being bored with post-grad life and trying to find a job, it was like I really like more, not necessarily pastel, but I like lighter colors, and I just couldn't find exactly what I wanted, and I have an affinity for pinks, and I wanted more in the spectrum of pinks, so yeah. So like the whole reason I started dyeing yarn was to dye things that I love, and so it's just kind of dumb that I feel weird knitting with it. So I'm trying to stop that as well, but also have samples to show you how the yarn knits up and plays together, and it's a lot of fun. So, Comfort Fade Cardi by Andrea Mowry. I am using, this is my DK base. It's 250 yards per 115 grams, and I love it. It's a substantial yarn. There's something about it that I just love. Like, there's a weight to it that just feels really good. Yes, so this first color is Birch, then I move into I Smell Snow, and then it is Grubby, which is a new pink that I'll talk about in a little bit, and last but not least, Prudence. So I love this thing. I'm going to work on it all weekend, I think. I would like to finish both Magpie Tendency and the Comfort Fade this month, and I think it's doable. It's only the 19th. I'm gonna have a lot of downtime now. Doug, my husband, is busy. He has 3 busy seasons: Christmas, Easter, and wedding season, because he also does wedding photography and videography on the side of his everyday job. And so it's been a week, you know, long nights, but it's almost over, so super excited about it. And I'll just be able to knit because he'll get to hang out with our girl at night, so it'll be nice. And I have family time, so I'm gonna bring this over to my in-laws across the street, and it's gonna be fun. So, Comfort Fade Cardi by Andrea Mowry, highly recommend. And honestly, if I like this enough, I might just knit a single color one in like a gray, because I love it that much. I think it's wonderful. And I'm knitting the extra large. So there is that. I do have some acquisitions. No yarn. I did buy a skein of yarn. I'm just waiting for it to come. I bought one of the Hello Stella's van collection, because Lindsay, the owner of Hello Stella, she, her and I had premature babies around the same time, so watching her journey made me feel a little less alone. And $2 of each skein are going to, I think, Canada Sick Kids and the Ronald McDonald House, if I remember correctly. So I had to buy a skein to knit a sweater for Eliza. But yeah. So I'm waiting for that. And that's the only yarn I've bought besides the 2 skeins of yarn I bought at Vogue Knitting Live. It's crazy, but I'm trying to save up. Because there might be a trip in October that I'm taking. Hint. And by might, I'm going to. I'm just trying to convince some people to go with me. Mom. I'm talking about Rhinebeck, if you're not sure. The New York Sheep and Wool Festival. This isn't a toy for you. Okay, so trying to get my mom to come with me, because I think it'd be a lot of fun. And Esther is crazy. She likes to jump on my arm if I lift something up. Where's your bone? Can you eat this instead of my fingers? Thanks, babe. Probably sounded gross. I baby talk my dog, not my baby. It's just the thing. Okay, so I made an order from Twig Horn. I love Twig Horn. I think they're the sister company of Quince & Company, whose yarn I'm obsessed with. I haven't had in a long time, and I might pull that trigger soon. But I just ordered a needle gauge that I could pop in a bag, because we're going to be traveling a bit this summer, so I just wanted a needle gauge to go with that. And then I finally bought a needle case. It's not fully a conventional needle case. I still really want the Jezebel Bee circular needle case, but it just wasn't in stock. I wanted to get it from Espastrico, but it just wasn't in stock. So I did this one for now instead. Hey, hey. Here. Boop, 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 boop. It's my dog, Esther. She's perfect and annoying and lovely. She's the best. Okay, so it's called the Everyday Carrying Case. I got the navy one because I love navy and brown together. And it comes with this beautiful brown leather strap. So you open it and it has all these little pockets. It's great, Twig Horn. Yeah, so I can put like circulars down here. Even the way that I use circulars, or I store circulars, I could even put the tips in here. I don't think I have an extra one right now. I could even put, actually I think I do. I don't know why this is so important to me. So circulars, these are high-highs, which I can't stand. But like that's how and that works. I don't need it to be wider. But yeah. But I can put in pens and pencils and markers and my new needle gauge and just all of the good stuff that I need, and it'll be a perfect travel companion as well. So I'm really excited to finally have something that's much more compact and pretty to put needles in. So I'm super excited about that. I haven't done any yet because I think all of my needles are with sweaters at the moment. So not too worried about it right now. So I want to knit all of the sweaters. Speaking of, so I want to cast on a bunch of things right now. I really want to knit a boxy by Joji Locatelli, just the regular fingering weight boxy. A no frill sweater by PetiteKnit, a So Faded pullover by Andrea Mowry, my color workless Nordiska that I'm planning, that I have yarn wound and ready to go for. But I decided to swatch for a no frills because, okay, so here's what's going on. In May, Doug and I and Eliza were going up to visit Doug's sister after graduation from Michigan Tech, and that drive is about 9 hours. So, because it's at like the very tip top of the UP, almost. Yeah, so it's 9 hours each way, and we're gonna have to stop because we have a baby. So it's gonna be a long car ride. And when I'm not driving, because I'm not making Doug drive 18 hours in a week, I think that's ridiculous. So I'll drive some of it, he'll probably drive most of it, but I'll give him some breaks to take naps and stuff. I want to cast on a sweater for that trip. So I swatched for the No Frills, inspired by a wonderful customer who is knitting her birds of a feather out of Sweet Disposition. I posted it on my Stress Knits Yarn Instagram account. I'm obsessed with it. So I was like, I really want to knit a larger project in Sweet Disposition because it's one of my favorite colorways. I think it's one of the ones that I'm pretty, like, it's a pretty well-known Stress Knits colorway. I feel like anybody who's a fan of my yarn has this, which is, it sounds a little cocky, but I think like Sweet Disposition and I Smell Snow are my big ones. So I wanted something to do it justice. So I wanted to do a no frills. I was contemplating it in a gray, and I was contemplating it in a pink, and then I just died and swatched in Sweet Disposition. Can we take a moment to appreciate this? This is like going to be framed. I'm obsessed with this swatch. I only did like 2 rows of garter to start, 1 row before the bind off, just to help the whole thing not roll. because I watched that Patty Lyons swatching video, and now I'm all about the swatches. It makes, like, I understood swatching, but I'm also kind of a math geek, so I like this kind of math is really fun. I prefer statistics, but this kind of math is fun. So I did not get gauge. I used a 6, but I really like the fabric. So I looked at the sizing, and I fall somewhere between a large and an extra large. And I prefer sweaters and clothes just with more positive ease. So I want something closer to the extra large. So I was only 2 stitches off from getting gauge. So I'm going to knit the large and get something closer to the extra large, and I'm so excited. But I love this. So I am using Stress Knits yarn in Sweet Disposition on my singles base, which is 100% superwash merino, 400 yards. I love this base. It's one of my favorites. And then I'm using my cloud base, which is my Surrey alpaca base that I talked about earlier. This is also in Sweet Disposition, but Surrey alpaca, it does not like dye. And I kind of love that about it. It's just so subtle, but then there are just these random strikes that will come through. I dyed these at the exact same time. Not like in the same pot, but I used the same, I dyed one pot next to the other. So I dyed my 2 dye lots at the same time for this. So it's technically the same dye lot on 2 different bases. And that's just how differently it came out. That's just the nature of Surrey alpaca, and you'll see it with one of my new colorways where it doesn't look anything like the colorway that it should look like. I think it's easier to get the lighter colors to pick up, which again I'll show you in a minute when I talk about Stress Knits yarn news, but yes, I love this. I love the peachiness that it has, and it's just so cool that this, let's see if I can, that this became this. So I'm really, really excited about it. I'm glad I did the math. This is a sweater I wanted to knit for a long time, and part of me wanted to put it off until the fall. But I think it's going to be a great sample for SSK. For those of you who don't know, the SSK is the Super Summer Knit Together hosted by the Knit Girls, Leslie and Laura, and I was lucky enough to be chosen as a vendor during their marketplace. So I'm really excited about it. I get to meet a bunch of people that I've wanted to meet for a while. I'm just super excited about it. So I'm going to cast that on as soon as I cast off my Comfort Fade. So I'm going to work really hard at it because all I want to do is cast it on. So with that, I'm going to go into Stress Knits yarn news. If you're not interested, totally cool. If you are, let's chat. And if you're leaving, I hope you have a wonderful Passover or Easter or just weekend in general. So, first things first, thank you to everybody who ordered an advent calendar. I'm really overwhelmed by the response, and I don't know, I offered more spots this year, and I'm blown away with how many of you signed up so far. So thank you so much. I will be starting to dye advent calendars after SSK, so in July, and I'm really excited about it. Round 2 goes up in June, the first Thursday in June, which I believe is the 6th. So yeah, so if you didn't get in on it this round, you will have another opportunity, and there are 3 different options this year. One of them is the full advent calendar, which is just like the one I did last year, new colorways, 24 mini skeins, they're 20 grams, and 100 gram skein of yarn of the same base. You have the choice between my favorite base and my sparkle base. And then the 12 days, which is 12 mini skeins, and the week of celebration, which is 7 days, 7 minis. So I hope if a full one isn't in your budget and you really want one, that one of the other ones will be able to fit. I really tried to be more inclusive this year with pricing and options so that if you want to participate, that hopefully you can. I understand it's not in everyone's budget, but I hope I made it at least a little bit easier this year. So there's that, so thank you. And then also the West Wing Yarn Club round 3 is up in the shop now. It won't go down until next week. I'm really excited about this one. Some of you have guessed the hint. It is Gail the Goldfish inspired. If you watch the show, you know Gail the Goldfish is a running joke from season 1 on. So it's gonna be fun. I'm really excited about it. I'm so excited about it. Okay, so head over there if you want that. If you want to view previous colorways from the West Wing Yarn Club, Not for Red Lights, which was round 1, and Sudden Arboreal Stop, which was this past round, you can find those on my Instagram. So the last thing I want to talk about is new colorways and the pre-order update happening next week. So I have decided, because I am in full SSK prep mode, I'm doing it much earlier than most people because I am a giant stress ball, and so I want to get everything out of the way now so that in July, if I go, oh crap, I wanted to do this on this base, oh crap, I have time. So, so I'm starting to do that, and that way I can use all of the yarn that I have right now just for SSK prep. So I am doing a pre-order update. I'm so excited. So I have new colorways and a new base. I can't wait to chat about them with you. So this is going to be geared towards sweaters or large shawls. That's the idea, but obviously you can order a single skein if you want. Excuse me. But the colorways that I chose for this update are geared towards, they're more semi-solid, light speckling, nothing too crazy, because I know a lot of us are kind of going towards more semi-solid, tonal, certain, like, not crazy speckles for more wearable pieces. I know for me, it's super fun to knit with a crazy bright yarn, but it's not something I grab. So I want to make yarn available that will help you with a more cohesive feel if that's what you're going for, or just a more, I don't know how to put it, not tame, but like a more, I don't know, a more store-bought look, if that makes sense. That sounds dumb. But yeah, I wanted more colors that are more garment friendly in the, I don't know what I'm saying, but it sounded good in my mind. Did not sound good when it came out. Okay, so colorways you've seen before. The bases that it will be on are my favorite base, the 80/20 Superwash Merino 20% nylon sock. It's a very high twist, great stitch definition. I love my favorite base. That's why I named it favorite. So there's that. My singles base, the 100% Superwash Merino. Both my Halo and Cloud base, so the mohair silk base and the Surrey alpaca silk bases will be available, and DK. So because I know the Saldana crop came out and everyone's really into that. If you want to do your own comfort fade, that will be available to you. And always don't forget, if I don't put something up that you really, really want, you can always email me at stressknitsyarn@gmail.com. The email will be down below along with show notes, and you can email me and tell me what you're looking for. I offer bases from the lace weight mohair and Surrey bases all the way up to Aran. And if you really want a bulky, I have a bulky base. I just don't dye on it because I don't really knit with bulky yarn, even though I love it. So we can always work something out. It just is 3 skeins on the same base. It can be different colors. They just have to be on the same base. That's it. So, and those will be going away in May, so that at the end of May they're going away so I can just focus on SSK. And my What the Fade kit with my original colors is always in the shop, up for pre-order. So with that, I have some colorways to show you what's going in the shop. Some colorways to show you of what's going into the shop. So first things first is Perfectly Adequate, which is just my medium gray. I love it. Here it is on single, on cloud, and on favorite. Yeah, so Perfectly Adequate will be available. I'll have palm lines. I just have the skein to show you right now. I have a bunch of stuff drying in the basement. So palm lines, which is a really light pink. I love it. And then same thing with Betty. These are both on my cloud base. Betty is my light blue. It's named after Betty Draper, for those of you who are wondering. So I love that. And then those all the normal colorways. Yes. Okay. So I will also have Grubby up, which is my new pink. Oh, I love it so much. So it's essentially a dirtier version of palm lines with dark charcoaly black speckles. I love it. Oh, I want a sweater just in Grubby. I'm using it in my Comfort Fade for those of you who want to see what it looks like. Knit up. I'll also have Prudence available, which is this one. It's a more brownish pink with plummy speckles. So that, and then I have some new colorways to show you that I'm super excited about. So the first things first is my new tealy blue. This is called Siren. It's still drying, but it's almost there. Out of my comfort zone, but I wanted a color like this for a really long time because I really love it. It's coming up a little darker on screen. It's actually a little brighter than this, but I love it. So this is it on my singles base. That's color accurate. So my singles base, my favorite base, and the shocker, mohair. So it is a colorway that I over dye in black, and I think that just kind of, I don't know. So I'm gonna try to dye it again on my Surrey alpaca. I might have said mohair. This is alpaca, my cloud base. Yeah, I don't know. It's just so different, but it's the exact same colors, same recipe. So that is Siren. Love it. And then my favorite, Dahlia. So I wanted a pink like this also for a really long time, but I could just never get it right. And I tried something new, and this is how it came out. So here's Dahlia. This is on Favorite, on Single, and on Cloud. Oh, I love it so much. It's my new favorite colorway that I dye. It's a lot of fun to dye. It's very layered. It's just a lot of fun. there's that. And then I'm introducing a tweed base, which again, I've wanted for a while, but I wasn't sure how to do it because I didn't have a lot of semi-solids, and I only like tweeds for semi-solids and tonals. I don't really like it for speckles. That's just my own personal thing. So I put them on, I put a few colors on the new base. So I have this purple, which I'm not sure what the name is going to be yet, but it's going to be exclusive to tweed at the moment. I love it. There's this color. I love it. It makes me so happy. This is Betty on tweed. I think she's waking up. And Palm Lines on tweed, which is my favorite. I think I'm going to knit my boxy out of this. So excited. So I have more tweed coming, and I'm hoping to dye like an olive green, kind of like this. And then there's just like the natural oatmeal color of the tweed yarn that I love. And it's drying right now, I forgot to grab it. But I just added a little bit more gray to add some dye to the skein, and I think it's gorgeous. So it'll be that color. Esther, get off my sweater. Okay. And then, yeah, we'll see what other colors I add to the Tweedy yarn. And I love it. And I think I want to call it Tweedy because that's what my dad calls Eliza. So, I love it. Tweedy. I can't get over this one. This is like, oh, it's just so good. Yep. So there's that. That will go up sometime next week once I have the opportunity to have Doug take pictures. Yeah. So with that, nothing really new going on in my life, just lots of mom stuff and Doug working, me working, family in town, Esther being Esther, and just gym. Yeah, nothing too crazy to report. So I will talk to you next week, and I hope you have, again, a wonderful Passover, a wonderful Easter, or just a nice weekend. I will talk to you next time. Bye.